Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hi.
We are the Loneliest City podcast, and today we're going to talk about dating. With me, I have Brittany,
Hi.
Emily,
Hi.
Judy, and then Morgan.
Hello.
Hello. We're going to talk about our successes, failures, everything in between, dating apps, everything you can imagine when it comes to dating.
Talk about love in this one.
If you want, yes, we can talk about love.
Ugh. All right.
But if you want to wax poetic and get philosophical about love.
Yeah, you sound a little bitter there, Morgan, about love.
Maybe.
Should we do that?
Yeah.
I mean, the first thing we were gonna, talk about was who here is dating and who here is single.
All right. Who wants to?
Well, I'm single. I've been single for 3.5 years, and it's getting a little rough out there for me, but I don't know how you guys are feeling.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. My last partner was February, like a year and something ago. So, yeah.
Well, I'm single for, let's just say a long time.
Wow.
A long time means forever.
Oh.
Embrace it, honestly.
Have you, dated around at all?
I've dated around, but, I've never I've been on dates, but I've never really, saw anyone consistently, I've been on it for a bunch of first dates. I've been on, talking with people, but I've never really had a girlfriend or really anyone that I've been, was consistently talking to in that sense. But I have dated around.
Right, and you said a lot of first dates. Do you find first dates very tedious, or what do you guys think about them?
I don't go on a lot of them. They're just really weird. It's kind of a lot of my dates I've went on were it was kind of hard to tell if it was even really a date or not. And sometimes sometimes it was clearly a date, and sometimes it wasn't sure, and sometimes it would just go into that for whatever reason.
Does anyone else kind of find it weird, if you're going out with someone and you're like, am I on a date with this person? Are we flirting right now, or is this just friends? Have you guys had that before?
Oh God.
Totally.
I mean, sorry, Judy.
It's hard to find
I've
the
been on
right.
so many like that where I'm like, this isn't a date. This is just a hangout. We're on the same page, right?
Is that your boyfriend in the back of the screen, though?
It's actually my fiance, so I'm one of the non-single ones.
Oh, exciting.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, he's pretty great.
Morgan, what were you?
Definitely knew I was on a date with him.
Oh, good. Clarity is good, I think. But what were you gonna say, Morgan?
I think I was gonna say it can be hard to find the right. I don't really know wavelength. I guess the right wavelength with someone where you both click with each other. The first date, it's the first impression, right? So that's probably the thing that you're going to be the most nervous about when meeting someone.
If you've never met them before from a dating app, you mean? Or
Yeah,
because if
kinda
you've
like
met
that.
them in person already, you're not really that
Yeah.
nervous. That's what I find. That's why I like dating my
Totally.
friends, honestly.
Mhm. Yeah,
Slippery
I was
slope, though.
more with COVID
Yes.
going around.
I've tried dating my friends. It hasn't
Um,
it hasn't gone well.
How about a recommendation, a referral program? We all need one of those, I think.
It sounds great on paper, but I feel like it's not that common. Where you're like, oh, I got set up through this person. I feel like that's a Hallmark movie thing. I haven't actually seen it happen in real life a lot.
All the
Yep.
time.
Really? Oh, that's awesome.
I've seen it all the time, and there were a few times where I've been the person that's done it, where I've set people up before.
Yeah, I have one friend, and she is a strong believer that she is the setup queen. She set up 2 couples, and they've been together forever. They're engaged, they're getting married, and she's like, I set them up, and she remembers to remind all of us every time we see them. It's so funny.
That's hilarious. She just wears a pin.
Yeah,
Matchmaker extraordinaire.
Because I know I'll get married if you're the one setting me up. It's like that movie Hitch or something. I don't know. I don't know the premise enough. Sorry.
There's so many movies like that, so I'm sure you're onto something.
I know it. Okay, well, what do you guys think? Do you think the majority of people in their 20s are dating or single right now in 2021?
Oh.
What do you think?
single.
I don't even. I don't even know how to answer that question because, like, you think someone's single. Half the time, I think this girl has to be single. Every single thing is pointing to her not being taken. And then out of the blue, it's like, yeah, my boyfriend. I'm like, God damn it.
I mean, I don't
Yeah.
remember what it was exactly, but I saw some like studies that were like the amount of sex that young adults are having is decreasing, and the amount of loneliness that young adults are feeling is increasing in the, I guess, like 2010s and 2020s compared to the 2000s, 1990s, etc.
Yeah, actually saw the same thing you did, and they are also drinking less from what I remember from that study. They're drinking and like partying less, they're hanging out together less, so they're sleeping together less, and they're maybe more so on social media. Yeah.
Interesting.
We kind of get into the Tinder and like the online dating later on, but I was kind of hoping we'd touch on maybe like what's hard about being single in 2021 and what's hard about dating or being engaged in 2021 for Judy.
Or good
Or
about
good.
dating and being engaged. Can't all be
Well,
negative.
I mean, there's always positive and negatives. I'm very lucky that I love all the time I get with my fiance, but I'm sure there's times where it's just like, I need space. I love you so much, but I just need some space. And with COVID, it really does limit the opportunities to have that time away from each other. And like, I don't know, like distance or absence make the heart grow fonder, right? So we don't really get that. But I mean, I think
yeah,
the
even
better of the two options.
I was I was living with my sister, and even that was getting super tense. Our place
Yeah.
flooded, so I don't live with her anymore, but it was getting super tense. I was like, oh my God, I love you, but at the same time, some things you're doing, I'm just around you way too much, you know? And so even siblings, so you can be super close, but then it's like, I just see you all too much right now. And I think I've heard people complain on both sides, but I've also heard good, like positives on both sides, which I'm really happy about. Being single
Yeah.
though, do you find it's like more lonely right now, or like in we're pushed to like dating apps more now, or what do you guys, your self-growth is at that period?
Honestly, for me, I was really feeling lonely at the start of the pandemic and like throughout quite a bit of 2020. But after I started to get used to like how life would be during the pandemic and just hang out with my friends more, I like online and figuring out ways to distract myself. I stopped becoming less lonely.
hmm And but have you tried to reach out and start dating? Like, have you guys, single people, tried to like reach out and put feelers out, tried to date and
I
been like,
have.
this is just weird. I
Um
don't really like it, or I really like this, or how's that going?
I have to varying degree, actually no, not varying degrees of success, no degrees of success.
Same, same. Same, same. And then there's like those like gray areas. I don't know. I haven't really had one of those in a while, but like gray areas, it's like, are we dating or like the game playing stage and like that all weird thing. I feel like it'd be twice as bad now because like anxiety would just be my anxiety would be through the roof.
Every second day or so, I find myself just like swiping randomly on Tinder, just like this is kind of
Same.
entertaining. It's not even a searching for something at this point. It's just like short-term mundane entertainment.
It's
Yeah, it's
so
also
funny
like
you're saying that. It's so, so funny that you're saying that because I got Tinder this Saturday. I have never been on Tinder before, and I was like, I gotta check this out. I gotta see what the hype is all about right now. And this is my bio. Tell me if this is a little, just tell me what you think about
Oh,
this.
I can't wait to hear it.
Okay? It's about me, okay? New to Tinder. How seriously are we supposed to take an app that targets our swiping addictions? Question mark. Like, how seriously are we supposed to take Tinder right now? I don't know. Is that too
um
serious of a question to put in your about me?
I
Is it
like
too real?
questions. No, I like it.
I
Okay.
like it.
Like it's like at least a talking point that's more than hi or
Okay,
hey,
true.
like it's giving them something to work off of.
Well, one thing I noticed about Tinder is that so many people don't have a bio or an about me. And I'm like, we match. How am I supposed to make a conversation with you? I don't get it. That's not the same thing. Oh, you like hiking? Oh, you want to go outdoors? I don't know. What do you guys, what's your go-to like conversation starter? What's that?
I'd like to hear
Um,
from the dudes
Yeah,
on
me
this.
too.
I like to ask sort of a kind of an outlandish question, like a really out there idea. Not because I think the idea itself, like it's funny, but I just kind of just to see their reaction, you know? Like I don't care if they agree with me or not. Like I'll ask a
Give us an
girl, would you go skydiving? Or what do you think of buying a commercial flamethrower? Like just something
Illegal?
completely out there and just stupid. Well, not I don't want to say. Well, like, actually, yeah, kind of stupid.
Yeah,
But
stupid.
Yeah.
it's
Not
so
taking
out there
yourself
and
too
off-putting.
seriously.
Pardon?
Not taking yourself or the conversation too seriously. I think that's
Yeah.
a good way to approach it.
And it also like gives me an idea of, you know, what like if their reaction would be, "Ew, no, what the hell? You're weird. Why would you ask me that?" I'm like, okay. And then
Good way for you to dodge a bullet then.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then even like I'm not looking for someone to agree or disagree. Like if someone's just agreeing with me, like yeah, I would buy a commercial flamethrower, and I'm like, you're just saying that because you want to agree with me. You're not
Oh,
saying
wow.
anything.
Gotcha.
Interesting.
So you're pretty
I do.
judgmental right off the bat, is what you're saying about these
Sometimes I
replies.
don't.
You
I don't
stand
want to say
out
like
like a winger, and you're like, "Oh, this reply is everything. If you don't get it right, then you're out of here, girl. No way." I like your
So
style.
funny.
It's good to weed through the system. I'm not there yet. I'm a week old on Tinder. I'm still learning the ropes. I'm taking notes.
like
What about you, Morgan? What's your like go-to kind of conversation starter?
Sometimes, I mean, I have at one point been the hey smiley face kind of guy.
I'm
Unfortunately, I learned a little bit from that, but usually I could kind of just improvise. I mean, this one time, this lady had a bio about it said she loves tacos. Okay, so I was like, okay, why don't we go taco shopping sometime? And she loved it, I guess, because she like told me that she laughed at it, and then we ended up talking for the next month. Didn't work out, but that line worked
aw.
out, so I guess.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
one.
That's awesome.
Did you meet up?
She got cold feet, or she ghosted me, or something.
Ooh.
I don't know.
Annoying.
I
Right?
once
Yeah.
there was a bio that said I'm looking for a handsome nerd, and then I message, well, looks like you found a handsome nerd, or something like that. Like just this really bold, stupid pickup line, and it was like when I first downloaded Tinder, and I was like feeling confident. I'm like, hell yeah, that was smooth as hell. It wasn't, but it worked.
It worked.
Oh.
Wow.
It worked.
That is the moral to the story. You just have
And
to be
actually,
confident.
it actually worked. Like I think the thing was that I just show so much confidence with that line that it somehow worked.
hmm
I see like a lot of value in those. And honestly, props to a lot of the people that take the first step because I find that with dating apps, the onus does get put more on the dudes that are pursuing girls and the other way around because usually the messages are started from their end, you know? So honestly, props to you
100.
guys for having the courage to do that because it really does lead the conversation somewhere.
Oh, Judy,
And
100%. I agree with you. Sorry.
one thing I want to add is if any of y'all in the audience are listening, if y'all ladies got a crush on a dude, chase message them first a bit, compliment
Mhm.
them. Like, if you tell a dude that he's handsome, like you look good today, that will make a man's week. That will make a man's month. They'll remember that. They'll be like, "Oh, that Tinder girl called me handsome."
That's funny that you say that too, because I feel like if a girl gets a compliment right off the bat, I don't know, Judy, but how do you feel if someone just gives you like a bold compliment right off the bat and you haven't even said anything to each other? Do you like it or do you dislike it?
I mean,
Is there-
honestly, I've always like given people the benefit of the doubt, so I've never like shut down conversation, but I don't like it when I get complimented on like physical things. If they like compliment something about like what I've written or something like that, I'm like, oh, awesome. Like you put some effort into getting to know what I like or what my interests are. But just like, oh, I like your eyes or your hair. I'm like, thank you. You too.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
think there's a bit of a double standard, unfortunately, for like guys and girls. It's so much easier for girls, and there's actually a stat that I read. In the US, the amount of men versus the amount of women on Tinder is a 3-to-1 ratio. So there are 75% of men on Twitter and 25% are women. So it's much harder, even just the numbers game, like the girls have that in the bag, and then it's like, so they can play, this coy kind of game. And it's kind of unfortunate for the guys out there. But when a girl really wants somebody, that makes it, that much easier. I think they can just kind of reach out, right? And say, you're handsome. And that works. Whereas if it was kind of flipped for a girl, I don't know if that's going to work for a
Yeah,
guy.
because
So.
the one thing I'll say as a guy is that we're always expected to like, well, maybe not expected, but like, to start with a compliment or say something nice or start a conversation. But even if I would sometimes like I compliment a girl and I'd, talk to her and then, but they wouldn't say anything back to me. And I'm like, oh, well, why the hell am I even talking to you anymore? But if a girl compliments me back, I'm like, oh, I wasn't expecting that.
Definitely. I hope it becomes more common as well for men to just receive more compliments because they deserve it too. Like they deserve the validation. And like, I feel like women get it a lot and we appreciate it. And sometimes we take it for granted, but definitely it should go the other way as well. Not just on dating apps, everywhere.
Yeah, and they should compliment each other to get their
Mhm.
egos up. So what about this for you guys? Have you been super liked? Have you been super liked, the guys here?
Yes, I got
Mhm.
I got a story. I got a story.
Okay. Okay, love story, love story.
So it was right when I first downloaded Tinder. There was this really cute gamer girl. I super liked her. No, she super liked me
Okay.
first, and then I super liked her, and then we matched. And then we started having a really good conversation about our favorite video games. I got her number. It was actually going well. And then I'm like, oh, what university do you go to? She's like, oh, I'm 16.
Oh, oh,
I go to J.
oh my
Percy
God.
Page. And I'm
Oh,
like, number block
oh my God.
unmatched.
That is a
Oy, oy,
nightmare
oy.
situation. What do you
It
do?
was immediate. I think I sent like just a few messages after, like, oh, how's school going? And then like like I didn't want to just abruptly end the conversation. And then
Um,
after after the conversation naturally died, I was like, number blocked on
that
Matt.
is so
Oh
scary.
my
That
gosh.
is
I'd be like,
the number one fear because sometimes
yeah.
people do, a lot of the time, girls especially do not look their age. That is, and especially in pictures, it's even worse, I think. What do you think, Morgan?
Oh, it's funny like seeing sometimes you'll see Tinder profiles where it's like the age like it'll show their age on Tinder, right? And then in their bio they'll be like, I'm actually like 3 years younger. I don't know why it says my age is wrong, but it won't let me change it. I'm like, yeah, I know why.
Lies.
It's because you made your profile when you were a minor.
Yeah, yeah. That happened with a bunch of my friends on Facebook, actually. So it just their birthdays show up on the wrong day or like the wrong year. I'm like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
100%, I've seen that.
But I
Dennis,
don't know.
I'd be like, pass the phone to your parents right now. We
Yeah.
gotta sit down.
How do
Yeah,
you
I was
feel
like,
here?
I immediately went, nope, I am not dealing with this. I did everything I could to just make sure I was out of contact with her and made sure that she couldn't get back in contact with me. It was like be I didn't want it to sound like I was rude and just immediately ending it, but like, when the conversation I tried to end the conversation right away and then it was done. I never talked to her again.
Yeah, that's definitely scary. Judy, have you been super like were you on Tinder before you found your fiance? Is that how you guys met actually?
Yeah, we met online. and it went really well. We kept the conversation going, planned to meet up in person. It was really fun. Yeah, we just kept the connection going and made sure that after we did meet in person and we knew the chemistry was there, we just really took it off of the app and continued staying in touch through other mediums.
You make it sound so easy, Judy.
Honestly, I think looking back, my approach on Tinder as well was just being nice to everybody, because like even people that I wasn't feeling connection with, I had such deep conversations, talked to people when they were having like bad nights, like help them get through stuff, and I'm like, I hope they're doing better in their life. But yeah, like even if it wasn't to find the love of my life, which I happen to, I'm really glad that I had to have some decent conversations with folks. So it worked out.
Wow, good for you. Wow. And where was your first date at? I'm just curious.
We went out dancing. So
Ooh.
yeah, it was a fun night.
I can be honest, is he a good dancer?
He was pretty good. Honestly, like we went out
Definitely.
dancing. I lead the dancing really. Like it's my thing, and like he's good at just like grooving alongside
Good for
me.
you. Yes,
Yes.
Judy, yes. You know, I wish more girls, I wish I could lead. I'm pretty much just a follower with the dancing. Or I'll do my solo thing and they can just, you know.
Yeah, they could like, do their thing on the side.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly. I'm
So-
happy with that too.
I wanted
One thing
to.
I do always recommend is that, especially for girls and doing online dating, like make sure it's a public space. And if you can make it a group date or go with a friend, do that. And that's what I did. It's funny because I went with my best friend. He came with his best friend. So regardless, even if one of us happened to stand each other up, we were going to have a good night regardless.
Yeah, oh, that's a good plan, actually. Like, no going to someone's house. Even, I think,
Oh,
like,
God,
hooking
that's so
up is kind
scary.
of sketch because you don't know where that, like, where you're going, really. I've heard some
Yeah.
horror stories. Do you guys have horror stories about that, even? Like, a hookup that went awry, or, like, you met up with somebody and you got basically catfished, maybe?
Nah, y'all are gonna have. That's y'all's job. That's y'all's story to tell. I don't got any of those.
No? Not one? I'm trying to think. I've
Just a
only
short
really,
one where she didn't look
yeah.
anything like her profile pictures. That was
Like, it
it though.
clearly wasn't her pictures, basically.
Yeah.
Wow. And what do you do in that situation?
I was just like, hey, I'm really nervous and I don't want to go through with this. Let's just like hang out and watch TV for a bit. And then we did that and I I left.
Oh, so you went to her house too?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh my,
Interesting.
actually, you just reminded me of a story. When I was 19, I was on a dating app. This was like, it was like plenty of fish, guys. Oh my God, I can't even believe it.
Oh
So
my
Tinder did
god.
not exist, I don't think. And I was on Plenty of Fish. I was 19 years old, and I met up with this person. Actually, they came over to my house.
Ooh.
And it went really weird. I was like, oh my God, get out of my house. And they wouldn't leave. They wanted to play board games and keep playing and making me drink, like trying to make me drink, kind of coming on to me too much. I was like, hey, no, no, can you get out? And I was like calling them a cab, and they just like didn't take the cab that I called them because like I pushed them downstairs. They didn't take the cab, and then they called me and they're like, can I come up? Can I come up? And I was like, no, I guess you have to find your own way home. Bye. And then
Oh
they
my
followed
gosh.
me. Then they followed me on Facebook for a long time, and they kept touching base every like 2 years. I got one, I think like maybe a year ago, and I was like, "Do not message me, please. I don't know how you keep being able to message me."
Oh, that's so scary. Glad you're safe though.
Yeah, it was fine. I quickly learned not to do that again. It was like I just got out of a breakup, and I was like, "Wow, I need to go find people," you know.
Rebound.
Yeah. Woo, rebound. Yeah. So any other catfish stories though? I don't have any catfish stories myself, but have you seen that show Catfish?
Yes.
Oh
Is
yeah.
it
That
staged?
show is
Is it
pretty
real?
cute. I honestly am not sure. I've seen some weird ones where just like the person I remember one specifically where um there was someone who this guy hated. They were just enemies. They hated each other. And so the girl made a different Facebook profile, catfished him for months, flirted
Wow.
with him, and they planned to meet up. And when they met up, it was like, surprise, it's the person you hate. And it was just this like, this person did it specifically to fuck them over.
You have to have some special sort of hate in your soul
Yeah.
to do that with somebody. You have to pretend you like somebody. You have to hate them so much, you have to pretend that you like them. Like, that is
That's exactly what they did.
sadistic.
And so much free time. Oh, who has that free time?
Who has that free time? No kidding. Oh my God.
Maybe retired people. I wonder what that's like. Some crazy retired people do because they've got nothing going on.
A bunch of 70
Let me
plus.
just mess with people.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous for that when we get older. Like, how is social media going to turn on us when we get to a certain age where we have so many enemies? It's like, you better watch out, you know?
I'm
Oh,
just
gosh.
waiting for the time when I get old, and then all the kids are doing the slang, saying slang, and I'm like, what? And I just say something, and like it just sounds like, "What's up there, kids?"
That already happens to me. Like TikTok, I'm not on it, and people there's definitely things from TikTok that I don't know are things from TikTok, but then I'll even say them. I don't even have a good example, but people are like, "Oh, you're on TikTok." I'm like, "No." No, I'm just copying what I hear on the Instagram, I guess. I don't know.
I feel you on that, Brittany.
Ah, thank you. Thank you, Judy.
Like, for example, there's one trend that I do not understand. Maybe someone could explain it to me. It's like the whole Candace video, or do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Oh, damn it, no.
They're like, oh, they'll like talk about some random conversation and they'll just pop it in, oh, I heard it from Candace. Or this belongs to Candace. And they'll be like, who's Candace? And they make this like weird, like troll face and like look intently into the camera. I've been trying to research it so I could be hip with the children. I have no
Okay.
idea what this trend
This is
means.
the first time I'm hearing of it.
Oh, guys, look it up. Go like Candace TikTok trend, and if you figure out what it means, please let me know. I don't want to be the old person that's out of it.
Oh my God, I'm doing that later. I think that there should be a podcast about just like relevant things because it seems like you guys have this meme chat going on and I have no idea, but it would really give me an update on the world right now, I think, and that would be really helpful for me. Judy, have you ever heard of like my best Judy, that saying? It's an old saying, but it's like my
No.
best Judy. That's like, it was like a queer saying kind of in the I don't even know when, but if you like, my best friend is basically my best Judy, you know, like my.
Oh my God, my heart. I love that. I wish I
Right.
knew that earlier in my life.
Well, now you know.
Aw, thanks for sharing.
You're my best Judy because you're the only Judy I know, but you're also pretty great. So.
Oh my gosh, thanks,
I have
Brittany.
to agree with Brittany too. You are the best Judy.
Love
Well,
you guys.
Judge Judy. Okay, you're the competitor. Judge Judy's also great, but
Judge Judy, yeah.
but like Judy,
Alright.
oh, Morgan's not convinced. You know, what do you have to say there?
She endorsed Bloomberg in the election race.
Okay, never mind.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
I didn't know about
Well,
that.
Morgan, you'll be happy to know that I did not endorse Bloomberg in the election, right?
You're not. This is why she is the best Judy. Our
Yeah.
best.
Yeah.
So we were talking about Tinder and online dating and stuff like that, but I want to move on to like in person, like, at a bar with
Oh my God.
friends.
This
Mainly
is my thing.
like at a bar. Let's start with at a bar. Like you're at a bar and bar stories or club stories or whatever of meeting people.
Can
Back
I
when
tell
those
you?
were a thing.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Can I tell you kind of a long story? But
Go
it's
for
not
it.
that. I'll try and shorten it. But okay, so about a year, it would have been like a year and a half ago at this point. I was at the bar with some friends. I was on some crutches because I tore my ACL, had the surgery. So I'm on crutches at the bar stool, but I'm still there kind of like kicking it with my friends. I was having a good time. And I'm also watching the bags and I have fairy wings on. People are just throwing things on me at that point. I'm the
Fairy
coat
wings?
hanger, but again, I'm having a good time. I'm dancing with my crutches. People are coming around me dancing. And there's this really cute girl that comes up to me and
Ooh.
yeah, and so she comes up to me and we just had this like fun little eye contact and little dance together. And it was great. And we got like a picture of that night. There's like a picture of us because there was a photographer there. And so fast forward to a year later, it's my birthday, August 18th. So it's in August of 2020. And that was when the pandemic was kind of like lower again. And, you know, we weren't all worried about it as much. So I went to a boat and we were on a boat I was with 10 random people. Like these are my sister's friends. And I was like, great, I'm on a boat on my birthday. It's awesome. Boat breaks down. First thing, we get the furthest out into the water that we can possibly go. And it breaks down on us before we even get the tube out. And I'm like, all right, whatever, let's get to know some of these people on the boat, right? So I'm chit-chatting, flirting with this girl, whatever. It's a great time. And then we get towed back into shore. It took about an hour, and we play volleyball on the shore, having a great time again, having a picnic, enjoying our day in the water and the sun and everything. And this girl and I just like start kissing, and she's a great kisser. I'm like, oh my God, this girl's awesome. So again, we're just having fun, like super flirting, gonna go to like a party afterwards and everything. And then I go to we're packing up for the day, go to the boat. I'm like, hey, can I get your number? And she's like, yeah, okay, sure. And she puts her number in my phone, and guess whose number is already in my phone? It is her from a year before. I didn't recognize her.
No way.
And her phone number was already in there, and I never messaged her. But I never get because I don't do that often. She was the first, maybe second person of the year or something like that. So it was just so funny because we clicked so much both times. And then we went on a date. I was like, it was a great date. We went and played tennis and whatever. And then I was like, sorry, I have school coming up. I can't be dating. And I'm leaving probably the city after this. So but we still talk and stuff. But anyway, that was my story.
Aw.
That was meeting
That was
at a
amazing.
bar and then at a boat.
Do you think it'll go anywhere still?
I don't
Maybe.
know. We still chat, but I don't know if she's completely gay, so I don't know.
Okay. Maybe.
Like, I don't know. Dip in the
Well,
toe.
Brittany,
Yes.
are you like straight or not? Oh, I'm guessing not, but like
I'm queer for sure.
okay.
I'm queer. I mean, I've dabbled with both gender. Like girls are definitely my strong suit. I love women, but like I don't know, some guys like very metro guys usually. I don't know why, but it's just like gay men a lot of the time. I'm friends with a lot of gay men and like we have so much fun, but it's like more the metro side of guys that I'm like, oh, I love that.
Metro,
Mm-hmm.
like I wouldn't know that.
Like they're fine having more feminine qualities, you know?
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Your description, Brittany, sounds just like what my best friend describes as well as being her type.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I've never like heard it described like that, but her type is what seems to be your type.
Oh, love it. Like Harry Styles, hottest guy alive, I'm sure, you know.
Oh, yeah.
How do you feel about e-boys?
What's that? B-boys?
E-boys?
E-boys.
Oh,
Okay, wait.
God.
This is one of
It's
those
a TikTok thing?
you have to use it.
No,
Oh,
it's not even
no.
a.
Isn't it
no,
not
it's
just
like
a TikTok thing?
I guess it's like a.
Oh no.
What would it be? I
Or
don't
is it a
know.
Gen Z thing?
Is that I've heard of it. I don't really know what it is.
It's like rebranded emo.
I am
Yeah.
okay.
Ooh, uh-huh.
It's basically rebranded emo.
Twitch
Cool.
emo. Twitch
Cool,
emo,
cool.
you can call it.
Twitch emo. Okay, I'm kind of into that. I used to love emo boys when I was young. I was like, emo boys. I have a question. Who's the biggest e-boy in the Discord group, this channel group?
E-boy? Like what do you mean? Like emo or
Well, I don't know. I'm just copying the
me.
term I just heard. Like I said, I don't know them, but I just.
not me?
I was in high school, but I
How about
got away
Morgan? I
from
think
that.
Morgan looks like kind of an e-boy, and he knew the terminology.
Oh.
That's pretty damning evidence, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, if you see my haircut from back then, you'd be like, all right, yeah.
Can we? Oh God, I would love to. Can you explain it to us, please?
Think of like the Beatles, or wait, you know the band Falling in Reverse,
No, I don't know them.
or like Sleeping with Sirens. Ugh.
Okay, I don't know
Those
what they
are
look
like-
I
like.
think I know them, yeah.
All right, I'll just like try to find a picture maybe.
Fall Out Boy.
If that works too, that's like close
the
enough.
bass,
Okay.
the bass guitar player, what's his name? Pete Wentz.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, I forgot about Pete.
Right? It's weird that he was
Iconic.
like the most popular one. He's the bassist, you know?
All right. Anyone else got any more stories?
Right.
Bar friends.
With bars, I know that I usually like wing women really hard. And
Love-
yeah, and like I've always like had friends like get numbers or like have leads, but understandably it's not usually ones that they follow through with. Just because like when you meet at a bar, like just like Brittany's story, like you don't really know where it's gonna go or like how it comes about unless you have one of those kismet moments. I did want to ask though, I'm curious about your Tinder profiles. Like, do you guys have fun ones as well? Like,
Okay. I got one. My most successful Tinder bio that I ever had, and everyone thinks it's crap, but it was successful, was just Bosnian bombshell, Bosnian flag emoji, Bosnian flag emoji, bomb emoji, bomb emoji. That was it. And it was my first Tinder bio, and it was my most successful Tinder bio. Hands down, I got more matches with that Tinder bio. And then, so when I deleted Tinder and then re-downloaded Tinder, I thought maybe lightning in a bottle will strike twice. It didn't. It didn't work as well as the first time, and I'm like, huh. Well, guess that bio. Guess lightning didn't strike twice.
Dennis, I actually, I don't want to ruin that for you, but I think that when you first sign up on Tinder, your profile is popping on everyone's Tinder because you're brand new. Because within a like I don't even know hours, my like thing was like, you know, it was like too much, and because I was new, I think, and then it slowed down. I think after that, the first couple hours.
I mean, for me, it's like whenever I delete and then re-download Tinder, and whenever that happens, I'll get like, I never get a lot of likes. I think for most dudes I know, we don't get many likes on our profiles.
There's not that many women out there, remember?
Yeah.
back to the stats.
Back to the stats, guys. But I think it's like when you first sign up, because like you said, the first one was like the most successful bio that you had, and my first 6 hours was the most successful my Tinder will ever be. But
the thing is that like that was my first bio, and then when I deleted and re-downloaded Tinder again, I decided to use that as my first bio again. When I re-downloaded it, and even in that second time, it was not even close to as successful as the first.
Okay, okay, that's fair.
I had a fun one.
Oh,
you had a fun one?
Yeah. Oh, go ahead though, Dennis.
I will admit, and what all my friends were probably right. It was not as funny as I thought it was.
At least it's
I
unique
thought I was
though.
hilarious, but
right.
I don't think it was as good as I thought it was.
So for my Tinder, I referenced my favorite Disney movie, which is Mulan. And I like wrote out, to be my man, you must be swift as a coursing river, with all the force of a great typhoon. And I like basically went through that chorus and like just tied it into what I'm looking for. And yeah, it seemed to be a pretty big hit because I liked that all of my conversations either were tied around Mulan or some other cool movie or something or the other that was interesting like that.
Is that the bio you had when you matched with your fiance?
Yeah, I never had to change my bio.
Oh,
I liked it. I kind of wish that I I screenshot about. I'm like, yes, it was successful, but too late for that.
Okay, well, what about red flags on a profile? Like, what is an immediate nope for you, or what is like when you're going through, I'm sure the pictures or bio or whatever. Conservative. Oh yeah, we were going through these the other day, right?
Conservative, just like I apologize. I don't want to get into it, but like just conservative. I'm like, and nope, not my
Sounds
type.
like you're
conservative.
triggered by conservatives.
Yeah.
Pardon?
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Any conservative there, don't be triggered. He loves you deep, deep down, I'm sure.
No, I don't.
But he won't swipe right on you. Yeah. What about you, Morgan? Is there anything that's like an immediate red flag that you're like, nope, nope, nope?
No bio. Fish pictures.
Oh God.
I know in the group chat we were talking about that earlier. For dudes,
What's a fish
apparently it's
picture?
like
Just explain
half the
what it is.
time. Sorry.
It is.
What's a fish picture? Just explain.
Oh, like they're holding a, if they
Oh,
were fishing and caught up.
I thought you meant the lips. Like the classic
I
fish.
wish that would be
I
so much
Duck
better.
lips.
Okay,
Wait,
take it as a double
Emily,
meaning.
was that
Fish
you?
pictures.
Yeah.
Oh, hi. I didn't know you were okay. What about you, Emily?
Yeah. No, the fish picture is a definite no. It's literally, honestly, it's so common, especially in Alberta. Every picture or every second guy, especially the past few days that I've been swiping on Bumble, they're holding a fish. Either it's the fish or a truck.
And this is actually confirmed true because I was also on that call where we were going through your bio, and actually that's what convinced me to get a Tinder. I was like, okay, let me just try it out. And yeah, there were so many guys with fish pictures, and some big, some small. One guy had only fish pictures of varying
Oh
fish.
God.
I was like, this is just too weird.
That's
Why
a
is
big
this a
no.
thing?
It's a huge no.
Why? So yeah, you're right, Morgan. Fish pictures, but do girls have them too?
Like probably 1 in 20. So it's
I gotta pick
pretty.
up fishing. It's common. It's more common than I thought.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
a red
then.
flag for me is I just want the gym to my Pam.
Oh God. Yes. I
Why?
hate
Because they watch The
red flags.
Office?
It's
From
like
that.
it's not necessarily like The Office. Like The Office is a good show, but it's the most common bio. It's the most common thing I ever see. And then when it's just that, I'm like, I want the gym to my Pam. I'm like, and you and I'm swiping left.
Okay, fair.
Fair.
Or who's Andy Samberg in Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Oh.
It's some I've seen some bios that
Jake.
are like, oh, I
Jake.
just want
Jake
Uh,
Peralta.
that.
Jake
Yeah,
Peralta.
I just want my Jake
There we go.
Peralta. I'm like, no, goodbye.
No.
If they reference a sitcom,
Jake Peralta is a
You're-
man-child.
So it's a red flag if a sitcom is even mentioned at all. Unless they're like,
I think, yeah.
okay.
I've seen
And-
some. I want my Joker to my Harley, and I'm like, oh God, no.
Oh, okay, that's a
no,
little.
no.
Yeah.
That's a little toxic. No.
Nope.
Or like I've seen a lot of guys like
Is that what like an e-boy would? Oh, sorry, Emily.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
that's
what
okay.
boy would put in.
Probably, but I think it's just the unoriginality of it, just throwing in just sitcoms and stuff. Like especially, I've seen a lot of guys mention How I Met Your Mother as another big
Oh
one,
yeah.
and it's like you can totally like the show. I don't care, but it's like come up with something original. I've seen like 20 guys mention How I Met Your Mother, The Office, like a bunch of those. I'm like something different.
Right. See, for me, a big red flag is if someone has all edited pictures or like filters on.
Yeah, I've seen that a couple times.
I mean,
Mhm.
it's okay. Like, I love a good filter. It makes me look good. My skin is smooth as heck. And, the hearts are floating around my head. You're in love immediately. I know. But it's like, if it's every picture and you just don't even know what they like at all look like, or if there's not a picture of their face or something, it just seems, I think we talked about that a little bit before too, but it just seems like they're hiding something.
Yeah.
Uh,
Or all shirtless pictures. That's also a no.
Speaking of red flags, what about like in-person red flags? Like when you meet someone and you're flirting with them, what's an immediate red flag? Or you're on a date. And
Oh,
what's just
toxic
like an
masculinity.
immediate
Yes.
From
flag?
women or men, there can be toxic masculinity, and it's a no for me.
All right, get into that a little more. Kind of explain.
Well, okay.
the only
Everyone
place I
has
cry
got
is my
ego.
room.
Sorry?
The only place I cry is my room.
I mean, I'm not a public crier myself. It's really held in my bedroom as well. But I think toxic, like everyone's got an ego, right? And like when someone who is very masculine and it's just like they have to put it out there, very alpha or something, they have that energy and their ego gets bruised. They go to like tearing someone else down or maybe like aggression or violence even or something that's like way past the line of where it was originally coming from, and I'm just like, calm down, it's your ego, go take a minute, we don't need that, right? And just like walking around like they own the place because of that ego, I guess that's kind of what the big turnoff is for me. I think it's like, yeah, we all got our ego, we got to stroke it every now and then, but let's not just, I don't know, ruin everything because your ego gets bruised.
Totally.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Another thing's punctuality for me.
Punctuality.
Yeah, if you're late, I'm like, sorry.
You walk in,
This
she's
won't
like
work.
looking at her watch. She's
I'm
like,
like,
you inched in there. You just
How late?
Hi.
What if they message you beforehand with like a good explanation, like, "Hey, I'll be a little late," and then they give you a good they give you a reason why, and it's a good reason why. Like,
Oh yeah, totally. And like that's the main thing, more than punctuality, at least communication. So I've had one date, for example, where I showed up, we had talked before, and I was at the restaurant. I was there for like at least 15, 20 minutes. And he didn't update, but I was at a restaurant that I liked anyway. So I was like, regardless of if he comes, I'm going to eat, I'm going to have a good time, and I'm going to go. But he shows up 20 minutes late, and he didn't really have a great excuse. He's like, I don't know, like I got lost, or got lost track of time, and it was fine. But the rest of the date, I was just not having it because it's just respecting each other's time. And like afterwards, he seemed like super into like wanting to keep talking. But yeah, the punctuality thing just got to me.
That's a good one, yeah. I have another one too, is if somebody is on their phone a lot, because I don't know if it's like with my friends, with my family, if I'm on a date, whatever, I put my phone down. Like I'm not looking at my phone usually, unless you want to show me something, like that's great, that's fine. Or if you're gonna look at something quickly, but there was this one person I was seeing and just briefly in the fall, and they are like a public person, and but they would always be updating their Instagram, raising money, like all these other things. But it was just so much where I was like, okay, I'm not even here, like I'm just like twiddling my thumbs, like not even. And then I would just go on my phone because I'm like, what else do I do right now? You're on your phone, it's been half an hour, you know. But I
For
had, at
sure.
the same time, I understood it because it's like, okay, you have to update your whatever, but I'm also like, why am I here? You know?
That's so fair.
what about? So let's go into some either dating fails, like first dates that just went not good, or first dates or dates that just went really, really well.
Okay.
I'd say like okay, I don't really call the dates I've been on dates. It's kind of hard to like say if they were or not. Like from earlier when we mentioned dates, it's like I've only been on two. And like I've never been in a relationship at all either. Like I'm in the same boat as Dennis. I've always been single. And like just a little bit here and there, but like nothing else.
Join the club
Yeah.
forever. My friend called me always the bridesmaid, never the bride. Join the club.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, like the first date I went on was this guy. He was, he was really nice. We were friends for a while after. But like we went on like three like quote unquote dates, and it was funny. It was like he just felt like a friend, and it was just kind of like Honestly, I could just say as a description where
No
like
sparks.
second date I
That's
went on.
fair.
Yeah, this was a
No,
little.
no sparks. What was it about it? Like, was he not like? I think when you're on a date, I don't know, you have to have like poking at each other a little, or like some kind of like banter, I guess, at some point.
So key. Love good
Yeah,
banter.
it just felt
Yeah,
like
like was there none of that going on, Emily?
no connection whatsoever. It just felt like friends. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
maybe
like
he was probably still nervous. Sorry.
Oh, he was not nervous at all. It was funny. He was just very overly confident, but he was just. I mean,
Oh.
he was nice, but yeah, definitely not feeling it at all.
Mm.
And like,
That's fair.
yeah, I had my second date was with this guy. He had just moved here from France,
Ooh.
like 2 weeks prior.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and so yeah, he was okay. The date was no connection. It was really awkward. And I said after I wasn't interested in him, just because I didn't want to carry it on any farther, waste his time.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Am I not good enough for you?" Doing all that, and I'm like,
Oh,
"Oh my god,
aggressive,
no!
aggressive. Yeah.
I don't want to waste your time. I'm not interested. Like, goodbye."
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's like that ego bruise, and it's like you just gotta learn how to take rejection sometimes and not put it on back on the other person.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, it's like
Totally.
I'm so used to rejection and being ghosted and all this. I'm like, I can move on so quickly and it's so easily. I almost have the expectation that it's not going to go well. And so, I have that in my mind. This isn't going to go well. I'm ready for it not to work
Oh
out.
no, you're
So I
kind of
have
like
that in my mind
setting it
usually,
up for
but yeah.
failure. if you have it in your mind that you're,
Yeah.
you know,
I think because it never works out usually, so that's why I always have the kind of negative.
it would be hard. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
It would be weird after so many years. Like, ugh, because even me, like, it's been 3.5 years. And I'm like, oh my God, what is wrong with me? You know?
Yeah, I try to be more positive though, but
Yeah, no, I know.
I have one where she brought another dude.
Oh,
what?
like a friend,
She
though?
no,
Brother?
like brought another date.
No.
Oh no.
Oh my God,
Yeah, I
what's
was
wrong
on
with
a.
her?
We were getting coffee, and she asked me out. Like she's like, "Hey, do you want to go out for coffee?" And I made time. I'm like, "Yeah, sure." I didn't really have any. I did have interest in her before, but after a while, I stopped having interest in her. And then I actually knew the dude. It was a mutual friend, so he's a homie. But she we're getting coffee. That's going okay, decent conversation. And she's like, "Oh, by the way, a friend's coming." And then I'm like, "Oh wait, I know what this is." And then we go to order, and then I say, "Together, please." And I'm like, "Wait, I think for 2 seconds, why am I paying? You're bringing another dude. Separate,
Yeah.
please."
Yeah.
And
Good
then
on
she
you. Yeah.
gives me that stare, just the stare of disappointment. I'm like, I'm not paying.
Oh,
You're bringing
No.
another
Yeah.
dude.
Disappointed,
That'd
man.
The
be
audacity.
for her guilting
We-
you into like trying to make you pay for her and her boyfriend, whatever the date she was on. That is some crazy next level. I've never heard of that before.
So we go to it was the Fringe at the time, and she's being like kind of cuddling up to me, and I'm like, "You're bringing another dude? What the hell?"
Yeah, and the Fringe,
And then when
just to clarify, is the arts festival, right? In Edmonton?
yeah, the Fringe Festival.
Yeah.
And I actually had plans that day. I had to go to a wedding afterwards. So like
You're looking fancy.
I think I was wearing I wasn't necessarily looking fancy then. Like I had to come home and get all fancy and stuff. But I think I wore either a dress pants or dress shoes. I have fancy, But yeah. So when he did arrive, it became a game of who's third wheeling who.
Oh my God.
After a while, a few months later, I was talking to my friend, and I straight up asked him like, "So was that supposed to be a date between you and her?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Damn it, that was supposed to be a date between me and her." And then I asked him, "Did you pay for her meal?" He's like, "No." And he asked me, he's like, "Did you pay for her meal?" I'm like, "No." And then my friend from across was like, "Oh, so she tried to two-time you, get 2 free meals for the price of none, and neither of us paid for her."
Good. I'm glad neither of you paid for it. That's the
Yeah.
weirdest
Yeah.
situation. I
That's
don't
very
even.
weird.
I'm trying to
Um,
create my past thoughts and be like, is there anything that even stands up?
We should start wrapping this up soon. Any sort of
Yeah.
last minute comments, short,
Mhm.
Yeah,
aside?
I think if somebody sees on Tinder, I want you to be the Jim to my Pam or whatever, then be like, go find your office or your love in an office or something. That's what that
Yeah.
means to me.
We'll only swipe right for your dog.
I was gonna bring that up too, Morgan. Like I'll love your dog more than I love you.
Ugh.
Be
I mean, my
vulnerable.
dog is pretty lovable. I wouldn't blame them. I'd be like, yeah, I do too.
There's
I
that.
think last thoughts for me would be to keep your standards high. If you don't click, you don't click, but there's gonna be someone you click with.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Focus
I'll
on
take that
yourself.
advice. My best, Judy. Thank you.
All right.
Focus on yourself, and the rest will come.
Yeah.
Cool. I like it.
The right one will come. The right one will, you'll find someone.
It's a double meaning.
Be like
I-
Judy and be nice to everybody because you never know how that'll turn out.
Be your best Judy.
Be your best
The best Judy is our Judy, so be like her.
Mhm.